that it was because the dry cleaner lost it, and for some reason that was her fault.
Yeah. Well, he can't be blamed. Like somebody has to be blamed. They
Right.
can't take any accountability or responsibility, but they have to blame somebody else for anything that happens to them because they're the victim, right? They have to blame somebody else for everything that goes wrong. It's like living in a torture chamber, right? You don't know what's coming next. That's how my life got at the very end. Back when I was in my relationship, I went to a lawyer. For me to get to a lawyer was like moving mountains, just because he couldn't find out. There would have been hell to pay. I had no control over money, so I had to borrow the money to pay the lawyer because I couldn't have access to my own money. I didn't have access to a car because my car had been repossessed, not because we didn't have the money, but he just chose not to pay that bill. So, I mean, it was just like a torture chamber. Like you never knew what was going to happen. And I had no control. I couldn't pay for it because I couldn't get to my money. So anyway, I go to a lawyer. I tell him what's going on. I go, how do I separate financially? This guy is just like, he's controlling all of my money, ruining my credit, making really bad decisions financially. The debt we're in is unbelievable. How do I separate financially? He's like, you can't. You're married. His debt is your debt. Like, you can't separate. And he goes, and you can't get divorced because you don't have grounds. I go,
Hold on, what?
It was a long time ago.
Oh,
and New York was not yet a no-fault state. So I had to prove grounds in order. I was trapped. I said, how do I not have grounds? I rattle off the emotional, the psychological, verbal abuse, the name calling, cursing in front of my children, saying horrible things. Nope, he hasn't hurt you, so you don't have grounds.
That makes me insanely angry because the whole fact that like you willfully enter into this agreement as of a marriage, and that you need grounds to get out of it. That's crazy. That's like checking into a hotel, but you actually need like a plane ticket to be able to check out. Like a marriage is not supposed to be Hotel California. Like you should be able to leave whenever you want to leave.
Well, this was the year 2000.
Come on.
And
I thought you were going to say like 1981 or like.
Well, thanks. You think I'm.
No, that's why, because I couldn't imagine like in the early aughts that I know whatever legal system in North America wouldn't let you exit a marriage just because you wanted to.
New York was one of the last states. It was very much a patriarchy. You can't leave a marriage. So, I was just, devastated. Like, this is my life. I can't. The lawyer said, but don't worry. Sooner or later, he'll hurt you. Then come back and see me.
What?
Yes.
He said that with a straight face?
Yes. Like, then you can get a divorce when that happens. Like, oh my God. So now I'm just like, what do? I have to live like this. So I was determined to get control of my money back. It was a long story, but it was because he had let our health insurance lapse. I didn't know it. And so I found out we weren't covered. We had 3 kids. Like, that was not okay. So that was my why. Like, I am going to get control of my money because we are going to have health insurance. And I was not going to stop at anything. So, I was just mama bear, and nothing scares me anymore. You don't scare me anymore. So the less scared I got of him, the worse the abuse had to get, because, we're doing this dance. Like, I'm not scared of you anymore. Okay, well, I'm going to get scarier then. And so it was literally like living in a torture chamber. I never knew what was going to happen. Like, throw all my clothes out of my room, stomped on my cell phone, didn't give me work messages. Like, it was